the journey we're at now, yeah. Obviously, I'm a lot further on in the journey, but there's about a month gap from the video where I'm going from Rotterdam to Switzerland, right? Because at the time I didn't know I was doing a diary, I didn't know I was doing content for YouTube. Yeah. A lot of the journey was missed out, so I just want to tell the story of what happened because it's pretty fucked up, really. So I got the train, yeah, from Rotterdam, yeah. I had to go through Belgium, right? I had to go to France. I can't remember the exact locations, but so my mission was to get to Lyon on the first night, by the way. From Rotterdam to Lyon in France. Check it out on the maps. It was basically one train that went straight through Belgium, I think. And then it got to France, right? And then from France, I had to get the fast train to Lyon, right? So I purchased the tickets in advance, right? Apart from having trouble being made to wear masks and things like this on the train, they was very fucking on it. Let's just say when I got to Belgium, when I got to France, it was very on it with this kind of shit. If you don't know me, you won't know, but I hate it. I hate doing it. I don't do it as much as possible. I've got a big problem with it. So they're telling me to wear masks and shit. I had a lot of stuff with me, and a lot of my bike as well. It was hard because it's actually harder than riding the bike because I had the bike was heavy. Stuff I had was fucking heavy. I'll never forget. The bag I had on my back was heavy, and I had two other heavy bags. So you think 3 heavy bags and a heavy bike, yeah. When you're going on and off trains, right? There was a point where I got to France, yeah, and I had to wait, I think 4 hours or maybe 2 hours or something, a long time. And I couldn't go to the toilet because I had all my shit. It was so heavy that I couldn't actually bring it to the toilet. I couldn't bring myself to go. I'd rather wait. I'd rather wait and not go to the toilet because it was so much shit. And, you know, think about the steps, think about going up and down escalators and all this shit. It wasn't good. So anyway, I tried getting on one train. Turns out that you're not allowed bikes on it, right? So there was a fast train to Lyon, yeah. By this time, it's about 4 p.m, yeah. I couldn't get on this train, right? And the guy said, look, get the train to this place, yeah. From that place, you can get a similar train that also goes to Lyon. So I did. I followed what he said. I had to get 2 trains. I had to get one train to a station, get on another train to the next station, and from there I could get the train to Lyon, right? To it, but I'm at the start of France, and I've got to get all the way across country. I had accommodation booked in Lyon. I had to get across France. I got this train, and I had to make a connection within 5 minutes of getting off this train, getting onto the next train. Again, I was having a problem with the fascist mask shit. So I got on the first train. I got to the first stop, right? I had to make a change in 5 minutes, right? Bearing in mind, I've got fucking 3 heavy as fuck bags. And a bike. Right? So when I got off this fucking train, I realised that I had to go down normal steps. So I'd been using escalators in the other train stations, which made it easy. There's proper steps, so I couldn't do it on my ones. And these 2 people helped me, this couple. So they had to help me carry the bags down, carry the bike down the steps, and then I had to go across to the next platform and carry it up steps, right? So I get up the steps, and the train had gone. I couldn't have done it in 5 minutes because I had lots of bags and and the bike and everything. So I missed that train. I'm good at not letting these things bother me. I'm very good at it because there's no point in being bothered about it. There's no point. It's not going to help you in any way at all, right? But it does bother me sometimes. Sometimes shit bothers me, but it's not about thinking positive in a way. It's just about not thinking negative. That's all. Like, it's more like just be neutral. So I'm patient. I'm very patient. If I miss a train, I think like this, right? I just think I'll just get the next train, and I'll just chill. You know, like what's the big fucking deal? Actually, reading Toilette Cart taught me how to deal with these problems. Before reading Toilette Cart, I was a different person, and I would have been fucking fuming. But I got used to it, you know, not being pissed off about things you don't need to be pissed off about. So anyway, I missed the train. I had 40 minutes to wait, right? No bother, because I've been through so much stress, lots of carrying shit, carrying weight shit. I was happy to be sat down for 40 minutes. I could chill, you know. So I did. The next train came, yeah, I got to this place, yeah. So I had another hour to wait for the next train, right? So remember, I purchased one ticket for the last one that I missed, so I had to purchase a different ticket for this one, plus the tickets for the other two trains. So I was purchasing tickets, I was losing money, and that was bothering me a little bit too. But I try and keep calm, and just keep calm. Anyway, I get to this place in France, right? And I was already in France, by the way, anyway, but I got to this place in France. I had an hour, so I was hungry. I'd been travelling all day. I thought, fuck it, I'll go and get some food. So I went to this Chinese place, and they asked me for a vaccination thing for me to stay in, for me to eat in. But luckily, I was like, no, I've not got one. But luckily, they let me still eat. But I wasn't used to this, even this thing, living in Holland, it's like, none of that shit's in Holland. Like, I don't know what it's like now, but it wasn't then. So I wasn't used to this. I wasn't used to the extremity of it. But luckily the guy served me. He said I can't eat in, but he'll still serve me, so he served me. So that was just something I noticed, the difference in culture, right? That's why I mention it. Anyway, I got the food, I ate it. It was ramen. It was alright. It's not for me really. It's too liquidy. Noodles in liquid. It was alright. It was food. I needed it. Time to get on the fucking train finally. Another hour's gone. Time to get on the fucking train. I'm walking to this train platform, and there's people. There's fucking stewards, and I'm thinking, what's this? Why is there stewards at the train, like controlling people? Anyway, they was checking for QR codes within the country, so not even to cross the border. It was a train from one side of the country to the other. They was checking for QR codes to let people on the train. I was like, oh my God. And by the way, as well, in one of the previous trains, I was being asked to wear a mask, yeah. There's a lot of people around me, and I didn't want to put up a fight. I was exhausted. I just wanted to get there. Sometimes I'll, try my best to kind of talk my way around it. It does cause me issues when I wear them. It makes me feel like shit, right? This is why I always say, it bothers me. It stresses me out. They're not healthy. They're just not healthy. Don't lie to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. But anyway, this dude gave me a mask, right? So I was using the mask because I just wanted to get from one place to another without stress, without bother. So I was actually using the mask in the train station. I guess because I was exhausted, I was doing it, but I had this mask on, or on my chin or whatever. And she said, do you have a QR code? And I was just thinking, the cheek, the fucking cheek. It's not good. It's not good. I was like, of course not. And she was like surprised, like, you've not got a QR code? I was like, obviously not. Like, what? Like why would you ask? Anyway, I couldn't get on the fucking train, yeah. So second train missed. Second big, long distance train that's going to get me to my destination. This time, it got to me. It got to me because I didn't miss a train. I got turned away from a train. I got discriminated against. That's what it is, discrimination. So, I was fuming. Pulled the mask off my face, threw it on the floor, stormed out of the fucking place. Here I am. I'm in Lille. I was in Lille in France. Now I'm thinking, oh my God. So, I've got my electric bike, 3 heavy bags. I'm in the middle of somewhere I don't want to be. It was busy. I didn't want to be there. It was fucking full of people. And I was thinking to myself, calm yourself down first. Don't let this anger, this resentment, don't let it last too long. Let's just take a seat. Let's rest. Let's make a plan. That's all we got to do. Always think forward. Always make a plan. I want people to listen to the way that I handled these situations. You can let things bother you for hours if you want, for days if you want, but you're doing it to yourself. It's not the incident, it's you. So, yes, I was pissed off because I wasn't expecting it, and the reasons pissed me off. So obviously there's a trigger. The missed train thing, there's no trigger. Can you see what I mean? psychology stuff. So I just wasn't expecting it. It got me out of the blue. It hit me and it hurt me. So I let it hurt me. Let's put it that way. So anyway, I sat down. I was like, right, I'm gonna fucking sort this out. So I was thinking, right, I'm in Lille, yeah. If I sleep here, if I get an Airbnb here, I'm gonna face the same problem tomorrow because I'm not gonna be able to get a train. So what I'm gonna do, even though I know it's gonna cost me a fortune, I'm gonna try and get an Uber. If the Uber can fit my e-bike in, and then he'll take me across the country, and I'll get to where I need to be to my Airbnb. I ordered this Uber. Yeah, I'm sat on the road. If you imagine kind of inner city kind of vibe, it was actually really nice. I was just a bit pissed off. But I was kind of sat on the road, like, in a city, so it's not like I'm just sat on a random fucking, like, stranded road. I was just in the city, just sat on this road. Anyway, I sat there, and I ordered a taxi. The Uber came, yeah. This was the only thing I could think of at the time. The Uber came, yeah. I said to the guy, look, can you take me? Can we put the bike in the back? We tried to put the bike in. The bike was fucking big. It had 2 big baskets on it. It was heavy. Doesn't matter if it's heavy or not, but I couldn't get it in. I couldn't get it in there anyway. So I was like, shit, man. Like, I'm pretty screwed. Like, you know, the dude was like, right, he cancelled it. He fucked off, right? So I thought that I was gonna get a refund. Not a refund, but oh no, you pay after. So no refund, but I was thinking that it would just be cancelled and then that'd be that. So I'm sat there thinking, fuck. Anyway, I didn't realise the fucking Uber was refreshing and ordering another driver for me, and I didn't know. So I was just sat there fucking twiddling my thumbs thinking, what the fuck am I going to do? Anyway, a fucking other Uber guy pulls up. Another Uber guy pulls up. I'm like, check my phone. Yeah, it's for me. It's a bigger car. It's a bigger fucking car. Anyway, it's this French dude. We're talking a long distance here. We're talking like, so if you look, check your maps here. Go from Lille, Lille, to Lyon. Right, so this is the journey here. We're talking all the way across France, right? I knew it was going to cost me a fortune. The fucking guy was like, you want to go to Lyon? I was like, yeah. He was like, Lyon? Lyon? He was fucking buzzing. He was fucking so happy. Like, and that cheered me up, you know. At least I'm going to be paying a fortune, but at least it's going to fucking, you know, put money in this guy's pocket. And I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, it's nice. Anyway, we fit the fucking bike in. We got it in. We fucking got it in. And guess what? I sat in that car, mate. I felt so fucking happy. I didn't care how much it was going to cost. I didn't give a fuck at that point because I'd been through so much shit through the day, so much stress, so much bullshit, so much tyranny, so much fascism, that to be in a car, knowing that I was going to get to my destination that night, oh, it was fucking amazing. Oh, I'll never forget it, and I don't regret it either. I checked what time I was going to get there. It was going to be 3 in the morning. It was going to be, so I told the Airbnb host, I was like, yo, is it all right? Can I get there at this time? And he said, yeah, it's all sound. So anyway, we're in the taxi. I was just so happy. I felt so comfortable. This guy was really sound. He couldn't speak English, but we interacted. You know, we had a laugh, like, in our own way. It was beautiful, and I was on the motorway. And bearing in mind, you know, I've not been in a car. I've been in Holland. I've been living in Holland for a year, so I'd not been in a car. I only been in a car once in Holland. Can you imagine? Except for like 1 or 2 Ubers. But most of the time I was on e-bikes, so I didn't need cars. I was in a car, so it was fucking nice, comfortable, luxurious. Yeah, I'm not used to it. I'm like, fucking, this is sick. Like, we had the music on, but we was going down the motorway, yeah, and I could see the French mountains. Bearing in mind, again, I've been in Holland for a year, flat as fuck. I'm not dissing it. Holland is sick, but it's flat. So I was seeing all these views, yeah, and then the sun was setting, and we was just on a road trip. It was a 6-hour road trip. 6 fucking hours in an Uber. Anyway, so the stars came out at night, and I felt like, wow, this is special. However much it's going to cost, it's worth every penny. I'm fucking loving this experience. I really was loving it. Anyway, I got to the place, Lyon. It was fucking really nice place. It was very quiet, beautiful, peaceful. got dropped off. Anyway, check the price. It was €1,000. I was like, oh my fucking god! I thought it was gonna be around 500, 600, maybe 700, but it was 1,000 anyway. €1,000. So I was like, fuck. I was like, oh my god! But at the same time, I was like, let's get this out of the way. Anyway, I tried to pay for it through PayPal credit, but for some reason it was coming up with an error. I didn't end up paying it. They just shut my account down. I didn't pay it. So it was a free ride. I just pray to God that the guy got paid, and I think he would have. I don't think it would have fucked him over, I don't think. I actually researched it to see if he still got paid, whether I pay or not, and yes, he did. So yeah, I wanted to pay it through credit because I didn't want it to affect my finances too much. And I just pray to God that he did get it. I'm hoping that he got it, man. I really do. But they shut the account down anyway, so call it God, call it spirit, something helping me there. I didn't have to pay it. I hope that's not morally bad. I hope that I didn't do a crime there. I don't think it is something bad. But Uber, if you're watching, yeah, once I get rich off this channel, I'll give you your money back, yeah. I stayed in Lyon for one night. It was a very nice place. It was this guy, actually, he was a music producer, and I met him the next day. He rented his place out on Airbnb. He had a wife, a child, but he had a room spare. He was living the fucking dream. He was renting his studio out. He was doing music for people. Top guy. He was actually Dutch. Even though he's living in France, he was Dutch, which is interesting. So I just travelled all the way from Holland to stay at a Dutch guy's house. So going forward, yeah, I knew at that point that I couldn't get any more trains, or that I didn't want to get any trains. I didn't want to go through that the next day. You know, I wanted to ride my bike. I wanted to just feel free, because I didn't feel free through that journey. It was so horrible for me. I wanted to feel free the next day. Anyway, so I got up the next day, yeah. Chatted to that guy, met him. He was a top guy. He showed me his studio, blah, blah, blah. He had a dog as well. He had a lovely place, man. Really nice place. I loved it. I was like, you're living a fucking dream, you, bro. Next, I was like, right, it's time to set off. So I got all my bags, got him on the bike.
Hello, my name's Timothy.
And welcome to Paris Saint-Germain. Out in the sticks. Out in the fucking Paris Saint-Germain.
Yes. Anybody agree?
And I set off, and so the mission was to go from Lyon to Geneva. So I wanted to cross the border, because I knew that if I went on the train, crossing the border was going to be a problem. Bearing in mind my passport was out and it was out of date, so I would have been fucked if I got stopped. I knew that I had to cross the border on a bike, yeah, and I knew that I needed to get to Geneva, the city in Switzerland, yeah, from Lyon. I set off anyway. It was a fucking sunny day in France. I just remember it took me this route, Google Maps, yeah. And it took me down past like a reservoir or a river or whatever it was. But it was just some nature reserve, basically. Not a nature reserve, but it's like a big lake or a big river. It wasn't a river. Let me just rephrase. It was just like a fucking, like a nice place with like a lake or a reservoir or whatever. It was just like that. And I had my music on, blasting out my speaker. It's just a completely different day to the day before. Completely different vibe altogether. And I remember just when I started going down there and it was sunny, I was by the water, not on the roads. I started crying, I started getting emotional. I just felt like a free fucking person, and just what I was looking at, the things that I was seeing, I was crying, letting emotion out. And this happens to me, I cry with appreciation, because I know what's good. And you have to go through dark things, you have to go through sad, dark things to understand, to appreciate the good things. And nature it makes me cry. Freedom, when I get freedom, I cry, when the right things happen in my life, I cry. So yeah, it was very emotional, and the trip went really well, man. The first part of the journey, yeah, was all off road. It was mad. It was all off road. There was a lot of not roads, but then I got onto the roads and I was going through like small villages in France, very quiet villages, like literally no shops, no nothing like that. Just well, there would have been one or two shops, but you couldn't see any shops. It wasn't commercial. There was no co-ops. It was really in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't exactly amazing scenery. It was just really dry. It was like there's places where there's nothing at all. It's like there's no nature. It's just there's like grass on the floor. It's just like farmland and shit. And I remember I got really hungry. I didn't have any food with me, so I didn't prepare. I didn't bring any food. I had one bottle of water. But anyway, I went past a restaurant, yeah, stopped at this restaurant, and I still had heavy as fuck shit, yeah. It was very difficult to just handle the luggage, to handle this bike, because this bike was shit. It was a city bike, 3-geared electric city bike. I've spoke about this before, but it was heavy. It was a heavy bike, so it made things hard. It was like the things that I had in the front was like an open bag, just full of random junk. It was all really unorganized, really heavy, a lot of shit. Yeah, I just remember getting to this restaurant starving. I saw this restaurant. I was fucking really hungry. I'm hungry now as well. Thinking like I'm getting hungrier, but I'm hungry now. And I remember just how hard it was just to take the bags off everything and like lock the bike and shit. Like all that shit was that was effort. Like, and then I asked the woman, can I get a seat? She was like, no. She was like, you need a fucking certificate again. So, second discriminatory act in France. That's what we're talking about. That's what's happening. First, I wasn't allowed public transport. I wasn't allowed to get to where I wanted to go. Secondly, I wasn't allowed to eat food. I wasn't allowed to be fed. But she showed a bit of kindness, and she refilled my water for me. So that was nice of her, because I actually needed that fucking water, and I'm glad that she did that. It's not her fault. She's just following orders. I carried on going, and I wasn't vexed by this. I don't remember being too emotionally attached to it. You know, no, it wasn't like the train thing, because I was on that mission anyway, you know. I thought, I can be hungry, you know. The thing is, you can be hungry. It's fine to be hungry. I know that I can last days if I wanted to, not eating, if I wanted to. So I was fine with the hunger. I had water, which was the most important thing. I don't have water now, though. I carried on, yeah, and just a little bit further up, yeah, I'm riding the bike, yeah, hungry and shit. And I stopped for a piss, right? I was on like some random country road in the middle of fucking nowhere. Lo and behold, there's some blueberry plants, quite a lot of them as well. So I was like, yes, I've got a small resource of energy. So I gathered all these blueberries, and I was eating them on the way as well. I found quite a few blueberry plants. Not blueberries, sorry, blackberries. The ones that are like little balls, like. So it was sick. The nature helped me. The fucking first day, that journey though, man. I was going off-road. I was like, Google Maps was taking me to the most crazy fucking places. I was like going down like tractor tracks, fucking going through farms. There was a point when there was a fucking sprinkler spraying water onto the road, onto the path that I was on. I got fucking drenched, but it was sick because it was fucking hot as well. But this bike was not the one. This bike was not the one for this. No suspension. I was like, I made it fine. I didn't get stuck or anything. Fucking, I was going down through farmers' fields and shit. Just completely, most of it was off road that day. I remember like there's this point where I'm flying down this fucking grass fucking hill thing, and like all the shit started fucking coming out of my front basket. So I had to stop and then just like put the bike down. Like I just put the bike down like on its side. I just sat on the floor. I was just like,
Hi, my name's Tim Hall. And I'm dead. I'm dying. No, I'm not really. Tim Hall. hit a bit of a bumpy spot and it all started flying out the bags. It's been a fucking mad one so far. Went to a fucking restaurant, they turned me away, they wouldn't feed me because I didn't have a vaccination. But then I found some blueberries here as well. I found some blueberries, so I ate them instead. I'm just gonna carry on. Bye bye.
Got my breath back, got all the shit, carried on. And it was weird because this bike was not the one for this kind of thing at all. It was just not the one. It pulled me through pretty much without too many problems, which was amazing, really. And it's a bit impossible, really, with that thing. I remember there's a point I got to where there's a tree in the way of the path, like a really thin grass path. I was going through lots of grass, lots of like off-road shit. It was mad as fuck. It was really sick, but it was mad. And I was on a grass path that was like, there was a motorway next to it, but I was on the grass path, like on the other side of a fence. Right, so anyway, after all this off-roading, yeah, I was nearly halfway towards Geneva, yeah. And I'd been riding all day. I switched my battery as well. So I switched my battery halfway through. I had 2 batteries, yeah, for my e-bike, yeah. I started getting onto a road then, and then things actually got a bit easier. Things got a bit smoother. And I had like steady pace. I remember it, like the engine was like really helping me, and I got a good steady pace going. You know, I had to use the low powers as much as possible to save battery, but sometimes I had to boost it up to give me a push because obviously sometimes it gets too hard. But I was on like a wide, you know, like a wide road, main road with cars and that, yeah. So I was on road with the cars, yeah. Now I had heavy in the front and heavy in the back, so it was actually heavy to turn as well, to steer. Yeah, so I had to be very careful and just concentrate. The thing is, it was kind of dangerous. If I had to react to anything in any way on that bike with those bags, I would have been fucked. But I was just keeping a steady pace and keeping focus on what I'm doing. But I started going uphill, and to be honest, it held up really well, this bike, on this day. But I started going uphill. I started going up the mountains. I remember I saw the mountains. I was like, wow, that looks fucking sick. This is later on in the day. I've been traveling all fucking day. Yeah, I've been traveling for hours. The journey that I gave myself was a big journey. I think it was 70 kilometers. It was like an 8-hour fucking tour. So I'm climbing up these mountains, yeah, and I get, and with the second battery was running out of battery fast because I was going uphill. So when you go uphill on an e-bike with the weight as well, it takes battery fast, and you have to put it on high power so you can get up, so it can pull you up. So it's very, very hard. Well, it's not very hard, but it hands the fuck out of the battery. So anyway, by the time I get up this fucking hill, I've got like 2 bars left out of like 5 bars. I didn't get to the top of this mountain, but I climbed it quite far, and then I had to stop because I was thinking, right, I've got 2 bars. My phone battery was looking like, I think it was like 30% maybe. I was thinking, right, there's no way I'm going to get to Geneva today. So I need to book an Airbnb quick time, like one that's like as near as possible. So I checked on Airbnb, right, this is in the afternoon, it's like 4 or 5, and I found one, booked it. I was like, please be good, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I booked it. It was half an hour away. So I was like, right, let's do it. It was like this little village I had to like, it was actually a detour from where I was going, but I thought like, doesn't matter, you know, I need to get to somewhere to stay. Starving as well. So anyway, I got to this farmhouse. This is where it was. It was a farmhouse. It took me a while to find it, but I found it. It was a farmhouse in this little cute village. Maybe 100 people lived there, something very small, no shops, nothing like that. And it was this lovely couple. It's like a podcast, this, isn't it? But we're talking about a month's worth of fucking shit. So I'm going to have to stop at least an hour. There's this lovely couple. One of them spoke English, the other one didn't. So the woman spoke English, the man didn't. I stayed there. It was a farmhouse. I asked. I was like, "Look, I need some food. like, make some fucking food." No, jokes. Because she offered me breakfast. I was like, "Yeah, I'll take the breakfast at 7 a.m." I was like, "I'll get up at 7 a.m." because I wanted to set off early to the next place. And I was like, yeah, but could you make me some? Do you have any like tea as well? Like, I want some tea, as in like evening lunch, or whatever you want to call it. But she made me. She was like, yeah, I'll make you something. I had to pay obviously, but she made me something. Anyway, she went out, and it was me and her husband sat at the table eating, and he couldn't speak English, so the conversation was kind of he spoke a bit, and we managed to get a few bit of ground covered. He brought this plate out, yeah, and it was like tomatoes. It was like chopped tomatoes in some like liquid juice thing, and I just chomped like all of it basically. And then I thought that was the meal. I thought that was the meal, and he brought the meal out. I was like, what the fuck? I just chomped all these tomatoes thinking it was the main meal. Anyway, I was like, just give me the food. I'll just still eat it because I'd been hungry all day. So I ate all that, and then I went to bed. After just went in the room, went to bed. Anyway, next day, get up, get on the bike. It's like we're Oshki's again. Like she showed me a pet chicken. It was sick. I got really close to a chicken. Never seen a chicken that close before. It was like in my face. I got my phone out to take a picture. It was like pecking the phone and shit. It was so sick. But she gave me some bread. She gave me some cheese. She gave me some. What else was it? A peach to take on my journey with me because I didn't have any food. So this time I had food. Anyway, cut a long story short, yeah. I drove to Geneva the next day. It was all road, really. It was all by road. My brother. This is a fucking mission, lad. We're going to Geneva. We're going to try and make it to Geneva. Bye-bye. I had no issues that day. Right, and I'm surprised I had no issues with this bike, man, because this bike was fucking whack when it comes to uphill and shit. I guess because I was still in France, there wasn't too many ridiculous hills like there is in Switzerland. So I got away with another day of travelling. I just remember most of it was road. It was all uphill at the start. I just remember you got to push yourself up the hill and then you get a reward from it after you get the downhill. A lot of it was downhill at the start. So I had to do a big hill climb to get out of the village. And then I did like some fucking crazy downhill. I was flying downhill, shitting myself a little bit too because you can't steer properly because it's so heavy. Cut a long story short, I got to Geneva, right? And I remember I'd obviously I'd done the journey too long again. The thing is, with the 2 batteries, you can go far, and I was doing the journeys way too long. I've learned from this now. Still, I've learned from this that you got to do the shorter journeys. Makes it much easier because by the time I got to fucking Geneva, it was just so long. Like it was just, I was going from halfway between Lyon and Geneva, so I was going halfway. But fucking, it was so far. Like I tried doing that all in one day, the day before. Like, how the fuck did I even attempt that? Because the next day it took another full day. Yeah. So the second day of riding, I was crossing the border to get to Geneva, and I remember I got to the outskirts of Geneva, and I was thinking, right, I'm near the border. I'm near the border. Near the border. As I was getting closer to the border, I went to turn up this road, yeah, and it was like a road where lots of like cars were going up, and I swear to God, maps were taking me up there. Yeah, there's a fucking policeman, right, one on one side of the road, on the opposite side of the road where the cars are coming towards me. They were stopping cars, and he was on the other side of the road where I was coming up too. So he stopped me, and I was thinking, I had my music. I remember I had my tunes blazing out my fucking speaker, and he stopped me, and I was like, oh my God, they're gonna ask for my passport. They're gonna ask for my passport. Fuck, 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 fuck. he was like, bro, you can't come on this road. Like this is like a 70-mile-an-hour road. You can't be on there with your bike. Like go up there, turn around, go up there, go over the top way. So it's like a country road, top way. So it's like, oh, he was being a nice guy. He was helping me. Oh, so anyway, I went up. I was just like riding and 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 riding. I felt like I'm getting close to Geneva. I had an Airbnb in the city centre. You know, I'm getting closer and closer and closer to Geneva. But I felt like I was never getting there. I was like, it was fucked up. Anyway, I'd got to the border, and it was actually a river. The border was going. It was like the border was across. It was like inside a river, like the same way as the river, not the same direction because borders don't have a direction. But if you imagine a river, and the border was in the middle of the river, and I was crossing it on a bridge, and I remember seeing the water, and I'd never seen water that color because in Switzerland the water it's like light blue. It's like, I don't know why it's that color, but it's fucking light blue. It looks like really crystal. It's not clear, but it's just a mad color. Anyway, it's proper beautiful color. And I was like, wow. And I remember just going across that bridge, and some fucking like dude in a van was like, he like beeping me, and like he beeped me and like laughed at me. And I was thinking, an overweight guy in a van, like I'd rather be me right now than you. That's what I thought. Like, with all respect to him, I just felt like it was just, I felt like it was ignorance on his behalf. You know, he was like kind of laughing at me for, I don't know. Or maybe I took it the wrong way. Maybe I took it a paranoid way. I don't know. But it seemed like he was just taking a piss, basically. But anyway, carried on. Didn't bother me at all. After going across the border, I'm going towards the city now. I'm going into the city. There's a long stretch, yeah, and it was really fucking me up. I was actually quite sore because I'd done 2 days. My ass was hurting. I had to stop, sit down, and then carry on. I was getting actually pissed off then. I was getting stressed out. I'd clearly overdone it, but also, you know, I was thinking about Holland, and I was thinking about my brain was playing tricks on me. Basically, it was saying, "You're doing it. You've done this wrong. You shouldn't have gone. You're gonna have a bad time. You fucked up. You." All these negative thoughts, and I knew it was because I was exhausted, hungry, in a new place, and I knew that it wasn't true. I knew that those negative vibes were not true. I was like, right, I've not even arrived at the destination. I'm not even at the destination that I've booked past Geneva, because I'd actually booked a place in Adelboden for 1 month, which was where I was trying to get to. So I was just moving towards it. So I was like telling myself, look, how the fuck can you say that you've done it wrong when you've not even got there yet? You know what I mean? Like, I was like trying to reverse the thoughts and just like, look, just keep going, just keep pushing. You know, you felt like this when you went to Holland from England. You felt like this before. It didn't turn out the way that you thought it did. So I got to Geneva. I was so pissed off. Like, even when I was in Geneva, it was like a mad busy city. There was no bike lanes. I wasn't used to it. I hate busy cities. That's why I fucking escaped one, which wasn't as busy, but it was mad busy. There was no bike lanes. I felt like I was never getting there. It felt like forever. It was weird. It felt like it took 2 hours to get to Geneva, and then it felt like it took an hour to get from Geneva to Geneva. Like from the outskirts to in the city. It was weird. It was just lasting forever. Anyway, I got to the flat. I was fucked. I didn't even go out. I didn't even go and check out the city or anything, which it's a bit of a regret. But I just wanted to chill, man. You know, I wanted to stay in, and I got a takeaway, and it cost me 20 francs for a fucking burrito, and I was like, oh my god, like the prices are steep. Anyway, so I needed to get to Adelboden from Geneva, right? Adelboden, check it out on the maps. I needed to get to Adelboden, right, the next day. So, but I'm at Geneva, yeah, and I realised I didn't have any plugs, so I couldn't charge my batteries up. And it would have took another 2 days, yeah. What I was doing, the way I did it, and the things that I had, the bike that I had, and the weight that I had, it was making the journey not fun. You know, it was making the journey way too stressful, way too hard on me, hard on my body, just straight up fucking bullshit, really. Like I didn't want to do it again. By the time I got there, I didn't want to do it again. But I couldn't charge my batteries up, so I was like, right, I can either do travel for 2 more days, and it's gonna be fucking hard. I checked how long it takes in a car. It takes 3 hours. I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna have battery tomorrow, so if I want to actually charge up my battery, I'm gonna have to stay another day here anyway. And I was already I'd already missed a few days of my accommodation because of the delays, yeah, of the accommodation that I had booked for a month in Adelboden, which is where I sent all my shit to, where I shipped all my stuff to. So at that point, I was thinking, right, if I can find, I'm not going to use Uber again because it's way too much money, but if I can find a minibus that can take me, then I'm willing to spend like 500 just to get me there, you know, just to get me to the place, and then I can chill. So it was like 2 a.m. I was like going on all these websites, all these Swiss websites. Anyway, I found one. I found a minibus that could take me there from Geneva. Luckily, I was in Geneva, which is a big city, which means you can get minibuses easy. So it was sick. Anyway, I found it, and it was 400 francs, right? So still pricey, yeah. But for me, it was worth the money. You know, a bit like that Uber was worth the money, but this was cheaper, and it would save me 2 days of traveling stress, and you know, I could have easily failed. I could have easily failed on that bike going through Switzerland, and I would have failed. I know I would have. Now I think about it, I would definitely have failed. So yeah, the dude comes, yeah, the next day in this fucking minibus. We got the bike in easy as fuck because it was a minibus. And this guy was Greek, and it's interesting because I'm actually aiming to go to Greece, and he was a fucking top guy. We had top chats.
In days, I have another problem now. I made myself because of spiritual. I am driving, and I am seeing on the street, on the main road, highway, local ways, whatever, a lot of dead animals.
Yeah.
And now I am thinking that we are killing animals just because we want to transport.
Yeah.
We are killing the nature because we made roads.
Yeah, that's true.
Mankind came here, make a disaster to the forest, you know, destroy the forest, put all this cement just to go from the one spot to another, and on the highway, on this way, we are killing foxes, squirrels, dogs, cows, wild pigs. We are killing nature.
Oh, it was so sick. Again, worth the money. And to meet him, it was worth it. To pay him is worth it. So we get to Adelboden, 3-hour journey, easy work. And next thing you know, I'm in the mountains. Adelboden is in the mountains. And I was like, this is why I did it. This is the reason that I did it. So all those doubts, I went to a city. I didn't want to go to a city. I was just passing through. All those doubts. And then when I got there, I was like, this is fucking epic. The air was different. The air was fresher, colder. It was super quiet, super peaceful. All I could hear was cowbells and peace, but cowbells as well. Cowbells as well. Peace, but cowbells as well. And it was in the middle of fucking nowhere. Hills everywhere, just mountains everywhere, all around me. And I was in a little wooden cabin. The woman didn't speak English. It was a very non-English place. And it was a bit weird, like, the vibes I was getting was like, people weren't friendly. I just think people kept themselves to themselves over there. Some people said hi, you know, but a lot of people kind of looked at you and then looked away, and I was like trying to smile at them, and it made me feel a bit weird because obviously coming from Holland where everyone's always friendly. I'm not just saying that these people weren't good people. I'm not just saying that they're bad people. I'm just saying they weren't, you know, people that you say that make sure to say hi to you on the street when they don't know you. But I felt like there was a weird vibe coming from these people. I don't know if it was just me, but I think I was right. But it turns out it was really nice, like the people that were looking after me were really nice. The Airbnb people. I had my own place, my own condo, but it was attached to a big house, which was their house, so their family house. Yeah, I can talk a little bit more about my experience there. The next video you're going to see is me in that place, yeah. It's probably pretty far in, a few weeks in, because I didn't know I didn't know to document it. So you might miss a bit of the journey out, but that takes you to that part, yeah. So I settled down, I made it, made a lot of mistakes, a lot of things that I didn't know about before it, so I learned a lot from that journey itself. And I had myself a hut, a condo, all my shit arrived that I'd sent, all of it arrived. I had a bag full of stuff, lots of things arrived. My new laptop arrived later on. I couldn't wait for that, and when it arrived, I was fucking buzzing. And yeah, the weird thing is, like, I actually felt really lonely. I actually felt there was something weird about where I was. But it was like I wasn't inspired. I actually got depressed. I actually felt really on my ones, like really. I found it hard to go outside. I couldn't get myself out much. It was weird. I was like stuck inside. I wasn't used to the new routine. I think, the thing is, I was used to, in Rotterdam, right? I was used to just like ordering groceries. Like people would just come to my house on a bike and dropping me off. I was used to the e-bike track, the e-bike flat bike lanes. I was used to getting about like that. There's a lot going on in Rotterdam. There's nothing going on here. Very small village. People weren't giving me good vibes like the way that they do in Holland, and it was I was just feeling a bit on my ones, a bit cut off from everything. But I learned to love it. There was a lot of beauty to it. The stars were clean out every night, and I don't know. It didn't suit me to the T, but it was the start. It was the start of my mission, really. I think I was there a bit too long as well, but I turned things around and I changed my mindset. I just got used to cooking again because I wasn't used to cooking. I'd actually been ordering my food in Rotterdam, eating healthy takeaways, so I had to get used to like this other routine and not working as well. I was working full time in Rotterdam, and yeah, it was a drastic change because it was a change in routine. It was a change in what I was doing, and it's also a change in location, and it was very disorientating for sure. But anyway, I pulled through, and I'm gonna leave it at that because I think that's all I need to say about it. Really, I could also tell you more stories about what happened there, but having that city bike there, I could go and do my shopping at the co-op, which was fine. Getting back up was fine because I didn't have heavy shit, but I knew that my bike was going to be a problem. I knew that it was a problem. I knew when I was there, I was thinking it's struggling up hills, this bike. So once I was in Switzerland, I started to be concerned about the bike that I had. Actually, she let me have a go. The woman let me have a go on her e-bike mountain bike. She wanted me to have a go on it, and I did. And I flew up this hill, and I was thinking like, oh shit, I think I need a bike like this. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. It was 1 month there, and then you'll see as we carry on what happened because I documented the rest of it. So here's a little filler video for you. I'm a lot further into the journey now. I'm not going to tell you where I am, what I'm doing. You'll find out anyway. But enjoy this podcast style video. Peace.